Welcome back to United Chaos, our Jurassic Difficulty Plus UK Challenge Mode. We're going to move the park over here. I think originally I was planning on putting it right here, but I think we'll keep this pen up here for now. Build over here more. And then we'll anticipate possibly building another herbivore enclosure over here. Or moving the hepatos out of this enclosure into this section, maybe cutting this down as time goes by. Point is, for now, I think we want to stay clustered in this lower area. We don't want to do a tour and have an enclosure back here. We just finished power technology. We should probably get that going ASAP. So we can start our park layout over here. Yeah, so this path is gridded to whatever's already here and doesn't align with what's going to actually be put in because I want to snap everything and not have to deal with this shit. So why don't we do this with power generators to start? How much money do we have? $4 million. That's pretty good. So we'll put one of these in here. Let's get the power pylons. Yeah, for now, let's make sure we're powering the park as it exists until we're able to move everything out. Finer details don't really matter here so much. Just make sure this stuff is all handled. That should cover everything, basically. Maybe not this, but it's close. Of course, this has to be attached up. I think for now... Well, let's do this. Send a path off of either side a little ways. Like that. I'm going to reflatten and make sure this is all on the level. But it looks like it is. There's a little bit of elevation maybe a little further back here, but this looks pretty good. Okay, so we can extend to the right and the left, and then probably do a more forward section here for the entryway and the visitor facilities. We'll keep generators and stuff back along this cliff. And then maybe tucked over this way or something. I think that's the play. Because I want to be able to redo this enclosure and move it down without having to rebuild the whole thing. Let's go ahead and just delete... Oh no, we need to connect this up temporarily so that there's power. I was going to say let's just delete that, but actually let's just connect like that. That way we can at least keep this on the power grid and stop using the backup generator while we move things. And we'll redo the power lines when everything's moved over. Fossils are almost done as well. That'll be 3 seconds. The other thing to do is we should probably look at what our next species are going to be, because that may influence the decisions we have for the layout of the park. So we hit 2 stars. That is another set. If our 0 stars were our 1 stars are our 2 stars, right? So if we hit this, Chungking, Herrera, and Baryonyx. Interesting. Large carnivore, small carnivore, and an herbivore to go with our large carnivore, small carnivore, and herbivore. Can Chungking live with Coelophysis? That is the next question. It might be able to, but it might be too small. JWE2 database. Paleo.gg, a lifesaver. We want to look at Coelophysis and Chungkingosaurus. Chungking was my favorite stegosaurid in the first game. I haven't given it much love in the second game yet, so I'm interested in seeing how they turn out for us. How do you feel about Coelo? Does not actively dislike it. It is neutral with a neutral interaction. Coelophysis, on the other hand, is neutral with a neutral interaction. So we can do Coelophysis, Chungking, and Apatosaurus in one enclosure. That works. That's pretty cool. Then we'll need a Baryonyx enclosure or a Herrerasaur enclosure. I wonder if we can do a truck tour for Herrera? That might be something we can do. Yeah, the Herrera is too big. It'll fight Chungking. So it's definitely the Coelophysis that goes with the Chungking enclosure. So we could move the Hepatos back here with the Coelophysis and Chungkings. We'll do a Herrera enclosure in the front. Probably have a gyrosphere, which I assume the Herreras can't hurt. The gyrosphere would cut through the Herrera enclosure and back over to there. Although I'm not sure. I think that's a future plan. I don't think we do that yet. Because I think we still want to keep everything isolated down here for now. But we definitely plan to probably end up moving the Apatos up here. I guess the other thing is if we get a Ceratopsian, it's not going to get along with the Chunking. We're actually guaranteed to get a Ceratopsian because of the traditional park build mode that we're using for the randomizer. So we'll definitely need 2 herbivore enclosures for sure. The Herrera can actually live with like Corythosaurus, Myosaura, Orano. So some of the ornithopods we can cohab with. Very interesting. Although maybe they hate it, they might not be chill with it. That would actually be a pretty cool enclosure then, like a Monosaurus plus Herrera. It looks like that actually works. Okay, well we should get an ornithopod for sure too. We still need the Ceratopsian somewhere else then, but that's also not a big deal. We can do something to make that work. Okay. So none of that really changes the plans here. Let's get some other stuff moved over then. Fossils need to be processed, so I think we leave this here. Oh, we never... Yeah, let's get our expedition center moved over next, I think. Yeah, and you think you're on a different grid. I do really dislike that. Is everything we've put in over here going to do that? Yeah, because it's been... Should this not just reset? Okay, yeah. So you have to do that. You do move, start to rotate, switch to flexible rotate, then switch back to rigid, and yeah, it realigns. Okay. So this, obviously we're not facing the path, but this could fit in here, I think, maybe. Well, that's going to be really damn close. Actually, I don't think the other power generator I was originally planning fits there at all either, which is probably a mistake. Yeah, actually, given that little bit of information, I think I'm going to do this. We're going to put this station there, and it's not going to be a straight line, but that's fine, because it's too many straight lines and too many of our park builds anyway. Yes, got to do the trick to realign. Sorry, did I not hit the thing? There we go. There we go. Snaps back. So you will align somewhere like this, basically, favorably. And this can go in here, about sideways like that. Although that cannot quite... I could try and move it back further if I wanted to. I'm not sure it matters that much. Maybe we'll just do one of these. How do I feel about this aesthetically? It's probably fine. We're trying to build, you know, more aesthetic, but we're also trying not to break the bank by replacing and moving stuff over and over again. So I think we'll call that good. I don't think we're going to hatch Apatos yet, so we can grab and move this as well. Again, we gotta do the trick to realign it. There we go. So this probably actually was supposed to go where the path is going to be then. If I want to encompass the old enclosure completely, it's got to be, yeah, like basically right there. Let's do this path here, this central axis. That'll stay in, and we'll just run something over here temporarily, and then scrap out this. Realign, there we go. So if I put this in basically right here. Well, the pylon's not going to be an option. It will be if we put it there. Actually, that's probably fine. We can put it back a little bit. Oh, wait, I have an idea. I have an idea I really like, actually. Let's grab the staff center. Yeah. Let's use the staff center as a spacer. Align the staff center here to this pathway. Oops. And then we'll put the hatchery in behind it, and that will all kind of come together, I think, then. I know I said we put in too many straight corners and stuff, but, like, it's also challenge mode. Like, it's kind of the name of the game, cramming stuff in together as efficiently as possible, right? And it's aesthetically pleasing in its own way. Yeah, I like this, I think. I think I'm happy with this. Pixel perfect. We're probably being a little too picky again, of course, but you know what? I gotta be a perfectionist somewhere in my life. So that goes there. That leaves the enclosure extending off like this. This section comes off here somewhere, and then honestly it probably just comes off just barely, and then just, yeah, it goes over here and extends off that way somewhere. Maybe not. So close. Wow, you're really going to be a piece of shit, aren't you? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, something like that. We have a gate section over here for the tour to eventually come off. This comes down, builds up that pen there. Okay, then we have this little area here. Might be able to fit the other one of these in here. These are the only two staff centers we get for this park build, right? I think so. I think that's one of the rules. Oh, that should fit absolutely fine. So a do and a do, and then yeah, it'll fit. Just a matter of getting it aligned. Urgent message. You found a raccoon in the building. Gain $2 million. Take a publicity hit. Or publicity rating plus 25% and 10 times task time. I'm a little concerned about the sabotage meter still being lit up this entire time. I'm kind of curious if the publicity rating will help that, but I suspect it won't. And $2 million is a lot of goddamn money. Just do it. Just do it. Just take the money. Just take the money and run. Take the money and run. We're also a relatively small park. There's like not much they can really do for sabotage that actually is a problem for us. So that should be pretty good. Honestly, still might be able to fit something else in this gap, like a shelter or something. That's actually obstructed by fence. I kind of want to see if I can get this closer. I think we can. Why don't we try and just keep this path in here as a guideline? Put the fence up against it. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. And then if we go to guest, shelter, shelter will not fit. Okay. Well, that's fine. We can keep the path there as an aesthetic option or just delete it. It doesn't really change this enclosure that much. Still feels fine. All right. Fossils are completed there. I might want to move this now. Let's move this now and then do the fossil processing after it finishes. So this, I'm thinking, goes in this gap. Right in here. Keeps all the backlot kind of buildings together in one clump. Away from the prying eyes of the visitors. Oh, actually, another big reason to do straight paths in challenge mode is they're easily replaced, and curving paths are not easily replaced because of the collision. actually causing problems. So if we put that there, the next thing to do would be to consider the response facility and the paleomedical facility. The paleomedical facility should easily fit in here. Let's actually grab this and move this over a little bit more. Delete this. I want to extend this enclosure down, and I want to get a viewing gallery on it. Just this section of paddock wall. Let's just build one. These are like 15K or something, right? 37.5. That's like 15, but not. That's fine. Let's make sure this is flattened properly. Because this section is where we start to build things out a little more. Away from other things, not quite as tight. We need to make sure that the terrain level's good there. So if we want view of this, really it probably goes right about here. Just tight to it, honestly, I think. We leave space next to it for like a tour. I could even slip in next to that pylon, which is great. We could probably fit a toilet there, if not a shelter. Yeah, shelter's way too big, but toilet should fit. Wow, no. It does not fit in that narrow little gap. We can just leave that gap. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's fine. So if we put this in like here, we would have we could have the path in the front, and it could exit straight into that enclosure. Put another viewing gallery down further. Or we put it over somewhere else. I think I like it being in this gap. It's like the right size for it. What is your rebuild cost? It's going to be, yeah, we should try and rebuild it only once. All right, I'm going to alter the pylons. So we're going to run... I mean, this is obviously a good spot for a pylon. Why don't we just run that? Actually, this might need to be out of the way. Well, let's just do this. Let's just run this way over and out of the way. Well, you know what? We can cut through this Cerrato enclosure. That's fine. That's temporary. And then we can delete this. This can get moved over tighter, further away. And then we should be able to get this actually moved in here and out of the way as well. Nope. Stop. Paths. Bad paths. Naughty paths. Move building. Restricted by standard path. Yeah. So there's the hitbox on this one's a little weird. I think we want to put it with a little bit of a gap. That way the vehicle can always easily travel straight to the gate in front of it. We don't want it to have to maneuver around the viewing area. So if we want to leave a little bit of a gap, we can use a building as a spacer. If we put in one of these, that's a pretty big spacer, I think. Let's see. Maybe we just go toilet. Maybe just a toilet like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That keeps a bit of room. Actually, it's about the same as just eyeballing it, really. That is small enough that it actually doesn't do that much. What about a shelter? I'm just going to scrap this. It's like pennies. If we put a shelter sideways, that might actually be the right size. Let's do that. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. We just need to delete the path. So why don't we just delete the path and rebuild it afterwards then? Paths don't have a build time. That's fine. Building constraints from the elevation. Oh, because it's already there. Oh, it fucks its own elevation up. Dude, I hate that it does that. It can't smooth the spot where it was. I don't know if it's... I mean, it does still save money rebuilding it. Although I feel like building it twice is actually... could be bad because of the event chance. Just build it. Just build it. It doesn't matter. Okay. Well, that gets the core, most of the core buildings out of the way at least. So, next will be the Ranger Squad, the Ranger Team, the Capture Team, whatever you call all those dudes. I might put them down like this way more, maybe? I don't know. Well, I mean, this is like the main section of the park, right? Heading back up through the hills here. So they should be near the medical team. We could put it on the other side. Maybe that's the action to do. Let's do this. Even though we just put this path in, I'm just deleting it right away. So if this is, yeah. This is going to be the margin for the visitor section, basically. Visitors back in here, they head down this way. They head down this way. They head over here to this enclosure. That'll cover most of that. And then we want to do... the medical team will be here. I suppose we can put the ranger team here. That's probably fine. And then they can just cross the road. It'll be kind of in the visitor segment, but I think it's not bad as far as positions go. Make sure that's all... oh yeah, this all does need to be lowered too. So that's fine there too. Okay. Now, I don't want it tight to that, necessarily. Because then they'll have to maneuver around the shelter. If I put it back here, though, is it going to be in the way? Because it'll be like this. No, because there's that gap there. I think they can maneuver that way pretty well. So we put it about here. And then what's the power situation going to be like? So we've got you building there. You will not power down that far. We'll stick one there. We'll rebuild the power lines later. For now, we'll just use opportune placements to put the substations in. Great. All right. We'll get all that building. Then when all this is done, we can work on the next stage of moving stuff around. Hopefully beat the clock on this backup generator, which looks like it's going to happen. Alright, that should be pretty good. This viewing gallery here, I think actually has to be shut down to make sure it doesn't see a coelophysis and drag people down these paths. We want this to be like untraveled until we get everything put back in properly. Oh, that's going to be... no, that's fine. Yeah, that can be like that, I think. Can it be like that? I might not like that power position. We could put this over here, like this. That just provides more of a gap for the cars to pass through. Let's do it like this. Actually, hold on. Can we put a restroom in here? Behind this thing? Yeah, we can. Okay, so that's not bad at all. That's a nice little arrangement of side buildings. So yeah, we'll grab this, then we'll just put it in here, overlapping with that, but with enough of a gap for a car to make it through there all right, I guess. I think like that. Now I'm going to guess that this might not be traversable. Obstructed, and that's definitely going to be obstructed there. That's probably fine. We can just connect it up this way. Actually, given that there's going to be visitor facilities on this side, like viewing vents or whatever, towers, the tour will start on this side. Heading down like this is fine, and this can just be connect back up to these things however we need to do it. Yeah, I think that's I think I'm happy with that. I suppose the other thing we could do is we could put like an amenity in here. I mean, the medium fits already. That's almost perfect, actually, for medium. That actually looks like pixel perfect. How did I pull that shit off? Right. Seems fine. I probably prefer to just have them in a strip like this, though. Except the large ones are thicker. I don't remember they're different front to back. Let's not worry about it. This is fine for now. If this wasn't already apparent, the Apatosaurus is finished with these last two fossils. So we can get that done. We can also now go out and do expeditions while we rebuild, because we have everything powered up with actual power, not emergency power. Of course, we only got access to a Loro Titan here and Pterodactylus, neither of which are useful to us. We want Chung King probably first. Can we get it? Ceratopsids 1, yes. Let's work on that research tree then. Do that. So, fossils, that research leaves us with our welfare guy and our backup dude here, which probably can't do anything for us. Maybe? No, it's a 7-5. 3 and 1. Yeah, this is worth doing. Give him a point of logistics so he can do these treatments on his own. We'll get these queued up and done as well. And then the last guy... Yeah, Hyatt can't do anything. He's just here for the ride. I'd be tempted to fire him if he wasn't so damn cheap. He's working for pennies, so it's not so bad. We have yield, right? Yeah, improved yield. Okay, and we have specialist on both, right? Yes. Great. Power has a good margin as well. Awesome. Looks good. Okay, Apatosaurus is complete. We finished our hookworms medication. That's both of the medications done then, rabies and hookworms. Might want to get to work on gene mods. We don't have the genetics points for this. Might be time to hire a new geneticist, if we can find one. There's one. 41 per time. New candidates in 2 minutes. We were unlikely to find another one. 8 is a pretty good score, though. But he's very expensive. Let's just buy him. Let's just grab him. Takahashi. If we could always cut him loose if it becomes an issue. He's really pricey. Ah, man. But it's just so many more points than anybody else. How far are we actually off here? 9, 12. And that does lead to skins. Do we need Quillian Mountains or Svalbard? Yes, very much so. We have 2 Svalbards and Aquilian Mountains already. It would be nice to get that before we do the Apatos. 1 large appetite, total species 6. So if we want 12, we need 6. There's no other options, really. God, 41 per minute is just so expensive. Nobody else we have right now is more than 18. I mean, if we hire him, he's basically Not quite. It's not going to be double our expenses for scientists, but it's going to be getting close. So we're going up to 170 upkeep. We're losing 70k profit. That's actually a huge chunk of our profit margin. That's actually pretty bad. What do we have for points to distribute? Just the logistics specialist. I mean, right now we could also just pick up a low-end geneticist person and do that. What about staff training? That's a 9 logistics. Wait, no, that's not staff training. It is a 9, but that's not staff training. That's the right tier. 7, 8, 9. So we have that. Yeah, actually, so we don't hire. We do staff training. It's staff training, and then we can put like points into these two. Get genetics up a little bit. Do we have anybody who's really cheap here, actually, per minute? Because going full specialist actually probably is not great if you don't have more than 2 staff centers, which is all we're limited to. 14 is the lowest. I don't think I want any of these people. Actually, let's look at our skill set again. No, 002. God, no. Ugh. Don't make me vomit in my mouth. Okay, so we'll check again in 2 minutes when those reset. But I think we're better off doing training. We'll get... Yeah, so actually, when these guys are done resting, we do training first, I think. And then we do Chungking research, and then we go out and dig up Chungking. That's the plan. Staff upgrades, we're looking at 600k investment. 7, 8, 9. Not really the best use of like the genetics and welfare specialist, but we don't have... Do we have a point on one person? We do on you, actually. No, let's commit this right now. And then let's pull off the geneticist. That way we don't have to rest them as soon. Send these 2 out. I think that's fine, because we're going to get more points to distribute. The logistics person... We'll eventually want the logistics person to be a 9 anyway. So getting them to that... to 8 now to be a 9 after we do staff training is not bad by any means. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. And the geneticist is still on hand. So actually, I don't think we can do Chung. Oh no, we can. Ah, because they have the 1 point in logistics. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, let's just do... Wait. Oh, that's Kentro. Chung is here. We still have to do Kentra, though, to get to Chung. So, yes, do that. Okay, cool. And that is staff improvements done. How many points is this one? 2 points per person. Good. Crypto inoculation, nice. I'd like to get these inoculations done, too, but those are pretty low priority, I think. Low priority now, I should say. So, what was I doing? I was talking about genetics. So I need a 9 for these. But I want to be doing Chungking while I'm doing these researches, I think. Although we also have to process fossils at that time. Do we have new scientists? Yes. Let's take a quick peek through these guys. 4, 5, 7, 5, 5. 307, 15k, eh. 4 and 4. Yeah, I'm not enamored with these dudes at all. No specialists, and they're all expensive and mediocre. Stick with what we have then. So, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we can put another point into somebody and be at 12 genetics with 3 scientists. That actually does get us what we need. 9 logistics. Point into somebody else, 10, 11. Then the welfare situation. We could probably make pretty good progress with just these 4 scientists. So now it's just a matter of prioritizing what we need to do. We should get the Apatos out. We should get ready to make the park more profitable. So we should be playing into the Apatosaurs, which we want Quillian Mountains and Papurana, I believe. PA? Yeah. Papu and Quillian are in a direct line off of this 12 genetics research task. So I guess we make that commitment. One other thing we can check is to see if we've been given these randomly. I doubt we have, but I don't understand exactly how these are assigned randomly. Probably by map, probably not random. Papu. So we have Papurana. We just don't have Quillian. Well, that's good because we can start hatching it sooner, at least. Wrong tab. So it was a 12 and a 3. The 3 should be met incidentally. Not quite, actually, no. 3 means logistics specialist needs to be in there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a point of logistics? Or we do 9 and a point of genetics. Okay, let's think about this. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's 3 scientists for 12 genetics. Then this becomes a 9 logistics eventually when we need it. 9, 10, and 11. But a point of logistics into him for 12. We have that. And then that leaves us with 7, 8, 9 on welfare. But welfare requirements may be a little lower. Plus, we need the logistics to make sure we can do the next tier of staff upgrades, which is 16 actually. So that's going to just require always hiring a new logistics person. Okay. I think that's the play. I think that makes sense. Eight. It's good to have a 3 genetics person on staff for fossil duty anyway. So Hyatt serves a purpose in this staff, regardless. Yeah, so now we need 2 points of logistics, 1 point of genetics. So it could be Rashid, but then we're stuck on 5 welfare, which doesn't feel like the best. Whereas 10 logistics versus 9 logistics feels relatively minimal. So I think we can do this. I think this is fine. And then we pivot over to this. Knock out group adaptation. And then we get the Apatosaurus skin color, at least, that we want. The other thing we can think about is the genetics. So we can unlock drought tolerance and cross species. And if we look at Apatosaurus, drought tolerance is the first one. On Apatosaurus, we've got an unmodified genome for that. We got food, of course. That's one we can't fix. We got C here, A, C on sociability. Social's good. Definitely want that if we can get a and C, and this one is just, yeah, fit. Who cares about fit? So yeah, if we can get social, but I don't remember, that's what we're doing, right? This is social, yeah. This is just tolerant, which they don't have. Okay, yeah, so this is the only one we need to do before we do the Apatos. Great. So we'll just work on getting those 2 prerequisites done, and then we'll do the Apatos. As soon as we'll start the Apatos, and then we won't release them until the park's probably been rebuilt and the pen's been moved. How dare you? Probably the most important sabotage they could do. We got a Jeep right here. Immediately divert. Other Jeep, you can also divert. You should be able to beat the Coelophysis there, if you're not an idiot. Reboot. Gates are working again. We're fine. We'll wait for the claw marks to drop and reopen the shelters. Or close the shelters. Whatever. The nomenclature for opening and closing shelters never feels right to me. Like, close the shelter, it feels like the shelter... Wait, close... Yeah, close all shelters. You open the shelter to let the people out, right? But you don't. You close the shelter to force the people out. You open the shelter to let them in. It depends on what your perspective is. Are you inside the shelter or outside of the shelter at that moment where you're talking about that shelter? Group adaptation completed. Okay, now we're on the cheap stuff. You need a nap, though. Am I willing to have both of these guys do it? It's not good. It's not bad. Sure, who cares? Just do it. Rest of you. I mean, I basically just need to... Okay, there's the storm. So the storm is what I was basically waiting for. We'll just pop the shelters back open again after we just closed them. Because the storm now officially means we can delete this path and start moving stuff around. So before we do anything, I want to grab this control center, get this moved and rebuilt. It will fit right here. Do I want it facing backwards or forwards? It doesn't really matter. Probably backwards with like everything else. The control center is not used by guests in any capacity, so it can easily be pushed back here. Yeah, let's do that. I wonder what consequences that has on opening the shelters when you've like split the park in two and grabbed the control center and the arrival point and yanked them away from everybody. Presumably it's fine. What if I now delete the shelter? Obstructed by pylon. It won't let me put a pylon over you, huh? Is this where I want to actually put this? I think so. We could probably run shops back here, actually. We'll do one of those. It's funny that the snap alignment resets when you delete the power line like that. I mean, this feels like a decent use of this space, too, because it's like... This thing is shaped weirdly. I wonder if this will fit to like a similar angle. Probably. Just for a little bit of a different look. I think that's fun. Okay, so we get that there. We get all this stuff to move. Yeah, so we're going to figure out the shot positioning. So I'm thinking we go past here with path. Probably the shops don't fit there, do they? Nope. That could be shelter or bathroom. Shops might fit here. If we put it in the other direction. Let's do one of these. Got a cuts here. Oh yeah, I'm definitely overthinking some of the layout stuff a little bit. Cuts in this map. Yeah, it's definitely one of the other ones. Sarah, Desong, Mara, Trope. That's the full roster. All the randomization I do is external to the game, so there's nothing in the randomization that actually applies to the research roster. They just don't want the big bird here, I guess. I don't know. Don't blame me, blame the United Kingdom. It's their map. Yeah, so I think we'll grab these shops. Put these shops over here, I think. We can cram them in this section or put them in here for a little bit more space. That might be good. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. If we put them in here, they'll also be closer to these eventual other viewing things we're going to put in. Let's just put them here for now. Let's leave our spaces open for other options. Why, you would be Cryolo Gaming, because it says right there on the tin, that's who you are. I think we'll put this one... Yeah, let's put it tight to the other one. They always look better when they're like right next to each other. And then we can grab the third one. That can go down over here. I think we'll just put it right here. Painfully creeping over for pixel perfect placement. There we go. We did it. Let's grab maybe this shelter full of people and oh no, these guys are trying to get to it. Maybe we shouldn't move that yet. Let's not do that. Yeah, I know Dino. Dino's a staple viewer of the channel. So, put this toilet right there. I think we can fit the shelter there after it's loaded up. The other restroom we can just leave over here and ignore. We can potentially just shut these down. That might be enough to reorganize some stuff. And then this hotel. We could put it in over here. If I put it in right here, why'd you change your username? Ah, different account, huh? Okay. Yeah, let's put the hotel here. We can remove it if we need to make room for a viewing gallery to sneak in here. Which I think we might need to. But for the time being, we can do this. Actually, if we can do this with a path further back, that'd be preferable. Because there definitely can't fit a viewing gallery in there as it stands. So yeah, we can connect through like that. Delete you, build you, and if we grab this viewing gallery... Got deleted. Did you get banned? Damn it, it won't fit. Actually, then yeah, that's entirely a problem for that hotel placement. We'll still let it get built because it's already getting built. And we'll worry about putting in the viewing galleries when we figure it out. I've been moving the arrival points mostly for fun, mostly for my own enjoyment, just to not build a similar area. Since we're replaying all the challenge modes. These are the second time we've done them. So I just want to have a little bit more fun with it. Let's just get this out of the way. Oh, another endangered animal? Nope, archaeological discovery. Gain money and publicity rating. No shit? Yes, please. I don't even get yelled at for that one. That's beautiful. That's really good. I guess we'll just leave this toilet here until we maybe need it or don't need it. Let's get this Coelophysis pen going. We'll let this run, I guess. Actually, yeah, we need to keep an eye on what gets damaged here, because we got to do it manually. That's the gate on the Stratos. Alright, let's drive. Oh god, we got to get to that gate. Oh god, turn, please. No, don't fishtail. Oh my god. Cars. Why? I do in fact have my license. That's another busted gate. We can choose that one. That's good. Please. Oh, we gotta shoot this narrow ass gap. Oh god. Don't clip the fence. I see you, you son of a bitch. Alright, there's that pause in our dramatic slide. That's one Serato escaped. Power's back on. We can get the capture team out automatically. I am okay with this outcome. That was fine. We're not gonna die. Park can be open because the shelters are open. Are they? Only one of shows is open. Oh, because this is disconnected from the entrance, it doesn't count as anything. Sure. Okay. I hope all the people who were there are fine, because they seem to have disappeared. Hopefully not into that Ceratosaurus. What else is busted here? Viewing gallery doesn't matter. Expedition centers, whatever. Pattern genes are in. We did cut power to all of this, but that's actually good too, because none of this matters right now. Let's just get rid of these extraneous power lines. Okay, we can actually do the silo pen some more. Let's clear out this crap. Silo / eventual herbivore pen, that is. So that's going to go down. How do I feel about this width? I think that's plenty wide. Let's just cut them off in here. If we can. Building has been damaged. Nothing that matters though, right? Yeah, nothing that matters. Build that fence before they get across it. Yes. Yes, okay. Double checking that this is intact. No, because it's open down there. We just do this. Grab this. You connect to wherever. Build that. Okay, delete this. Give them more space so they don't get upset with me. 96%. Yeah, that's enough for now. Then we delete, delete. You get the fuck back in there. You get back in there. That's your home. You belong there with your friends and family and that weirdo Steve. All right, there we go. So that's the boundary for the Apado enclosure / Coelophysis / chunking. We'll get this built, we delete the zigzag fence, and then we are good to go. We should try to bait the Coelophysis up to the viewing area. Also, we should probably get on top of the repairs now as well. And nobody's angry. I think we can open the shelters. Profit is well in the negative, but that's not unexpected. Guest safety rating, 100%. Huh. Given that we shut off power to the park and there was people running all over it, I don't know why our safety rating's 100%. There was no power and a Ceratosaurus walked out of a gate, and yet it worked. Let's smooth this weird hill out. There we go, that's gone. So we'll leave all this over here for now and move it later, I think. We'll have the hotel here to provide a little bit of visibility on these Ceratos in the meantime. This is built. This is repaired. Okay. Staff busy. Oh, still resting. Wait, did we do the research? Now I'm forgetting if we did our research we needed to. Yeah, we did. There's our skin. Okay. So I guess we're just waiting for this one guy to come back. Fine. Delete, 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 delete. And eventually this will have a tour, so this will eventually be in pretty good shape. But for now, let's just try and entice them over this way. Basically. We'll throw in a second bit of water. Let's smooth out this awkward hill a little bit. It's not too bad, but you could see the part where we flattened a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do the whole drop down. Is that? Yeah. So that we can sneak some water in here and not have it be above ground, which looks super weird. There. Maybe we'll peel that back a little bit just to break up the shape. All right, I think that's fine. We'll need a gate. We deleted our gates. Straightforward from the medical team and the ranger team. Why are you guys fighting for dominance? It's you never once broke up the herd. You're in the same pen you've always been in. You weirdos. Okay. And with our dude back, we can get a Apatosaurus out and finish up this episode. So, the Apatosaurus genome has been randomized to Quillian Mountains with Paparana. We pick white on white. Wow. Thank you, Randomizer, for possibly the most boring skin we could have. Short-lived one pip. AGC, AAC, +1 to social, and that's all we can edit. But if we get a social one out, we're good. We just need one, so it'll be the alpha for sure. We can synth only one batch right now. That's fine too. Let's do that. And then... Oh, I did say I was going to do chunking, but I think it's better to get the Apatos first. I think that's the higher priority. We can do the chunking research when they're being hatched by the welfare specialist. In the meantime, we can actually do the pattern. Papu and Pilo. We don't have any Pilo, and the only Papu we have is Apato itself, which we had for free anyway. So let's not do that right now. What about a inoculation? I would have to send the logistics specialist alongside the welfare specialist, which feels bad. I'm not going to do that. We'll skip the inoculation for now. The Apatos are always easy to dart anyway. Okay. And what do the people think of the park right now? 100% coverage. 86% restroom. So they need another toilet somewhere. Let's just steal this convenient toilet and give that to them. They want it on the hotel area. It's a little packed, my dudes. Okay, so that hotel is going to be a bit of a problem area. But I don't intend to leave it there, so... It's not the end of the world. Alright, so... What's our visibility look like? Oh, shoot, we never turned this on. Whoops, activate that. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we got visibility out to here. We get the leg, we get the feeder. We want another one down here to get this arc a little bit better. Somewhere like right about here. So we need to cut down the Cerato pen. I think we're going to move the Cerato pen entirely. Let's do that. Let's take this viewing gallery. I'll just steal it for now. Too close to... I can't move it because it's too close to the Cerato. I guess we'll just delete it and build a new one. Let's just use this, I think, as our line for this side of the park. I don't like how close that is. I think that actually is... Yeah, there's actually a little nub there. So that is snapping correctly. Okay, good. Let me look. Let me look. If we put this in down here, actually, we might want enough space here for amenities. I think we do. Why don't we just not worry about the spacing yet? How about that? We know this is not enough spacing. Why is this... What is this square? You see that square in the grass? Why is that there? It's like a perfect square in the grass patterning. It's like... Oh, is that the grass brush is here? Oh no, it's the... There's plants. For whatever reason, there's a perfect square of plants here. That's different than this pattern. That's really weird. All right. Probably where that enclosure was when the map was started. So let's get a viewing gallery down and build an enclosure off of that. Oops. So we'll just go back somewhere like this. We're not going to worry about the perfect positioning at this time. Actually, the thing to worry about with positioning could actually be the map edge instead of the position with this. So we put it like this, we get basically view all the way to the map edge. I think that's not bad. We can make this Serato for now, and we could always move the Seratos out later if we decide we want to make better use of the space, because it's kind of a big area. We'll just get a nice square pen to start with. That should be plenty big compared to what they have. Actually about the same size, but a good little extra extension on the end. Not too crazy. Overall better. I'm going to flatten inward like this. And I'm going to drop it. I was a little too aggressive on the drop. Not going to lie. I should have done a smaller thing. That's also... It's a little too deep. Fuck. The money I'm lighting on fire right now. Oh, man. I want this terrain level. There we go. Something like that. I guess we'll do this to, like, fix the terrain that's all janked up. And then we'll just trim this back so it's not... You know what? No, that looks too much like something bad. There we go. A little less like a dick and balls. Fantastic. There's our totally natural and not weird at all terrain that we've made for our Serato enclosure. Wowie. Fantastic. Link that up. Okay, these guys are ready. 2 eggs. Long-lived, no traits. Fine. 7 is actually perfect. Get them going. This is a long episode, but the rebuild episodes always are long. Inescapable. Chung King. We can do it with the crew. Alright. And then we can go dig it right away while we wait for the Apatos to come out. Sorry, you are not supposed to be powering anything right now. What do you think you're powering right now? You think you're powering, oh, this entire fence. It is true. You actually are powering that entire fence right now. Whether or not I want you to be doing so. I have no intention of topping off this generator when it runs out, but I'm keeping it in the park because at some point we will actually want to use it as a safety net. Sorry, are you still draining power? This is built. Are we capped? No. What else is not powered? Probably these buildings down here? Yeah. So that was not powered for sure, I think, but also this is not powered. So where can we sneak a power line through here? Probably has to be through here. No. You hate that? I already know we can't get through there. How about we just do this? I'm gonna put the prey feeder kind of on the little islandy thing we got going on here. It's always fun. Who's mad? Why? Why are you mad at me? The Jeeps can go down either one of these like roadways, I guess. Probably easier to go down this one, so put the gate over here. Avian pox on a sedated Ceratosaurus. Perfect. Easily medicated, in theory. Get the other 2 out of there. Get some trees. Some more trees. Leave a nice little open area in the middle for them to be viewed from. There we go. That's a pen. It's not a complicated pen. It's not a special pen, but it's a pen. It'll work. You're still draining power. No, you're good. Okay. Fix him. Fix him. think you did. I think he's been treated, yes. Alright, Cerato's on the way. This can be scrapped. We want that one probably to be airlifted first before we delete anything. Asset transported. Okay. Now we can move that hotel out of there. And let's get these Apatos. First 2 Apatosaurs. They are a bit boring. I do not lie. You're painfully slow, my guy. I mean, you can still see the pattern. I mean, it's at least a kind of a natural look to him if it's not exciting, at least. It's not like it's garish and bad. The sauropods always at least look like they walked off an African savanna or something. Can I see your needs? I'd like to get your needs dealt with, maybe. Friend? 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 Yeah, you're at 60% comfort already somehow. Even though I can't see your damn needs yet. There we go. There we go. Tall leaves. Tall leaf, ground leaf, forest. Tall leaf, tall fruit. They won't ever be with anything else that's tall, so there's no reason not to just do this. We'll leave forest in here so we can run some forest in some various areas. Probably, let's shrink this down and mix some forest in here too. They'll move around and then we can flush out some more tall leaf in these gaps. It's a little more traversable. And then we'll probably have to expand this, but it's probably good to expand it as we actually have dinosaurs to fill it rather than expand it all at once.
This massive specimen is called the Apatosaurus.
Right.
An impressive animal that
Well,
can intimidate.
it's basically tradition at this point to end an episode as soon as we put the new dinosaur out, after taking an hour to get around to it, even though we had the genome complete. So why don't we leave this one off here? I'll try to make the next one a little shorter so that we don't have 2 really extended back-to-back episodes. The next one should be pretty simply like getting out Chungkings and starting to expand into deeper areas of the park, I think.